It was 2:14 a.m. when my phone buzzed on the nightstand. I was half asleep, the glow of the screen cutting through the darkness. I blinked, rubbed my eyes, and saw her name, Maya. We hadn't fought that night, hadn't even exchanged words since dinner. Everything seemed fine, at least on the surface, but her message cut deeper than any argument could have. "You don't deserve me." That was it. 4 words, cold and final. No context, no explanation, just that. For a long moment, I just stared at the screen. My heart pounded like it was trying to make sense of what my mind refused to process. I reread it, hoping it would somehow change, but it didn't. I could feel something shift inside me, the kind of quiet, slow-breaking moment where pain meets clarity. We had been together for 5 years. We'd built a life, routines, memories. I'd been there through her worst nights, through her tears, through the time she lost her job and thought her world was over. I had held her, reminded her she wasn't alone. And yet, here I was, reading a message that dismissed it all. I typed, deleted, typed again. My fingers hovered over the keyboard, unsure whether to plead or fight back. But then something inside me calmed, a stillness I hadn't felt in months. So I replied, "You're right. I don't. But you also don't deserve the man I was trying to be for you." Then I put my phone face down and closed my eyes. For the first time in months, I slept without replaying our conversations in my head. When I woke up the next morning, there were 10 missed calls, 3 voice notes, and a string of messages, each one more desperate than the last. I didn't mean it. Please don't ignore me. I was just upset. Can we talk? But I didn't reply. I showered, dressed, and went to work like nothing happened. Because in a way, everything had already happened. I just hadn't accepted it until now. You see, that text wasn't the beginning of the end. It was the end that had been waiting to happen. The signs were always there. The way she'd started comparing me to others, calling me too calm, too predictable, as if stability was a flaw. The way she'd pull away when I tried to talk, how her eyes would drift to her phone during our dinners. I tried to be understanding. I thought she was going through a phase, that maybe she needed space or time. But that text, that was no mistake. It was the truth slipping out in the middle of the night when the heart forgets to lie. Later that evening, she showed up at my apartment. She didn't knock, just stood there, eyes red, phone clutched in her hand. "I was drunk," she said quickly. "I didn't mean it. I was just frustrated." I looked at her, the woman I'd loved for years. And for the first time, I didn't feel that familiar pull in my chest. I didn't feel the urge to comfort her. I just felt tired, the kind of tired that goes beyond sleep. "Maya," I said softly, "drunk words are still thoughts we've been too afraid to say sober." Her lips trembled. "So that's it, you're just walking away?" I smiled faintly. "No, you walked away the moment you decided I wasn't enough." She tried to speak, but no words came out. The silence between us grew heavy, filled with all the apologies that would never fix anything. A week later, she texted again, "I miss you." I stared at it for a moment, then replied, "You miss the man who loved you like you were the only one. That man learned his lesson." I blocked her after that, not out of spite, but because I finally realized that love isn't supposed to feel like constantly proving your worth. It isn't begging to be enough for someone who only sees your flaws. Months passed. I found peace in small things: morning coffee, quiet walks, conversations with friends I'd lost touch with. I started laughing again, not because life suddenly became easy, but because I was finally living it for myself. Sometimes late at night, I'd still think about her, about the way her eyes used to light up when she laughed. But I never thought about going back, because that night when she sent that message, she unknowingly gave me the closure I'd been too afraid to ask for. Her words, "You don't deserve me," were meant to wound me. But they became my awakening. No, I didn't deserve her. I deserved peace. I deserved honesty. I deserved someone who wouldn't make me question my own worth. And that, I realized, was the reply she'd never forget.